welcome to Georgia Cyclone's channel. Today we're going to be talking about is fixing a busted ass visor. Alright, this is a visor off an older helmet that I had. It's got some scratches and stuff in it, and I really don't want to go out and buy a new one. And it's really a pain in the ass when your visor gets scratched. It is just annoying as can be. You got the scenario, your helmet's sitting on your bike, your girlfriend comes up, knocks it on the ground, puts these big scratches in it. What I got here is I got some 80 grit sandpaper. Yeah, holy fucking shit, puts a big ass scratch in it. Now you guys should be able to see that scratch. Now you should be able to hear it. Now don't worry, your visor ain't ruined. These visors can be restored pretty easily. Really, a visor is just an acrylic glass is all it is. There's really nothing special to it. It's nothing more special than headlights. Or the headlights that get all gummed up and cloudy. So all you really need to fix it, some 320. 320 is a good starter. You can start with 600 if you want. You need some 2000 grit sandpaper. You need some agua. Gotta have the agua. You're gonna do some wet sanding, and then a little bit of turtle wax, scratch and swirl remover. All right, first thing we do, we're gonna take some of this 320. We're gonna wet sand out, most of the craziness in the visor. Easy stuff, really. And this, you can't just leave it like this because it'll leave your visor like cloudy and distorted. So we just gotta sand our way through it. And we're just gonna keep sanding and sanding and sanding until we get it as smooth as we can get it with 320. Where you're not feeling any more scratches, you can't visibly see any more scratches. You will see a bunch of little itsy bitsy scratches, and that's actually from the 320 itself, which is fine, because we'll take those right out too. That's not a big deal. Easy stuff. This visor will be good as new here in about 15 minutes. So I'm still standing away. And I may fast forward this so you guys don't have to sit there and watch me sand for like 5 minutes. But you can, when it reaches the area that's smooth, it's kind of quiet. When it reaches an area that's got scratches, you can feel it really digging in. And you just want to go circular. You just want to keep working against the scratches as best you can. So we're sanding, and that's all we're doing. It really doesn't take long. I mean, granted, I went the extra mile and ran 80 grit sandpaper right across the visor to put some serious scratches in it. Most of the time it's not that bad. Most of the time you get like these little nick scratches in it. Occasionally you gotta turn your sandpaper over because the little pieces of acrylic do get into it. But you do want to wet sand. You certainly don't want to hit it with dry sandpaper. That will screw your visor up. You'll just make a big cloudy visor is all you'll do. I'll move this over here so you guys can see my wondrous sanding talents here. See, that's a smooth area. See how it's nice and quiet? The area that's goofed up is loud. So we keep going so it's all nice and quiet. Yeah, I hate when your visor scratch. It really sucks at nighttime. Like all the lights and stuff seem to catch in all the little scratches, and then it blinds you when you're driving. Starting to get smooth. I'm starting to lose that loud sound. I can still see a good scratch. Alright. Step one. Let me get a towel and dry it off and show you guys. Alright, took a towel and dried it off. Look at it now, you guys are probably thinking, holy shit, he's gonna fuck that visor up. Not really. I mean, the reason that it's cloudy is because it's got a zillion little small scratches on it from the sandpaper, but so put water on it, starts to clear up. There's really no difference between these and headlamps on a car that get all cloudy. All we're gonna do now, we're gonna switch over to some nice 2000 grit sandpaper, and we'll do the same thing one more time. And this will start to really smooth it out. It'll still be cloudy when I'm done, but you want to get it nice and uniform all the way around. It won't be as cloudy. Really what I think causes the cloudiness is just as you get scratches in the visor, the reason you can see scratches is that light comes through and it hits the sides of the scratches It just causes it to stand out. It creates like a little valley in the visor, and light hits all three sides. Hits the bottom of the valley and hits the two sides of the valley, and what you get is you get scratch, as you can see. So you can see now, just by with 2000, now it's already starting to clear up. But 2000 is still going to leave it a little cloudy. And you can hear the difference when you get the spots that still need it and don't. Good, not so good. But we'll just keep sanding on it. And you can go down and buy those like headlight restoration kits. I think they're like 20 something bucks. I think it's cheaper to spend $4 on sandpaper and another $6 on the rubbing compound, and then I've got it for whenever I need it. Those little headlight kits only come with like 5 or 6 tiny little squares of sandpaper, and then they come with rubbing compound. I mean, there's no different than what I'm doing now. It's the exact same thing. You see the visor's already starting to clear up. I'm starting to smooth out the surface. 320 is pretty rough in the grand scheme of things when you're talking about sanding on acrylic glass or Lexan or anything else. 2000 starts to bring it in. It starts to feel smooth, even though it still won't be clear. Won't be clear until you use rubbing compound or a polishing compound on the plastic, which you can do by hand. I may do a spot by hand. A lot easier if you do it like with a cloth and a drill. It'll really speed up the process. Still hear areas that are rough. I just want to go over the whole thing so everything looks exactly uniform. You can see it really starting to clear up now. Again, same shit you do to your headlights on your cars. You can go out there and sand them with 320 wet sand, and then some 2000 grit, and then some polishing compound. Not much to it really, just a little bit of labor, but it's easier than waiting a week for a new visor to come in or spending $35-40 for a visor. I don't know how well this would work on pre-tinted visors. It would depend, I suppose, on what side the tint is on. Like mirrored visors that you buy factory, I don't know if you could do that with those. But with the clear visors, you can make them pretty much brand new. See, that's starting to get really smooth. I can feel just a little bit of a rough spot over here still. I can hear it. Still just doing circles. Remember, I started by taking a piece of 80 grit sandpaper and just dragging it across front of the visor. Put some serious scratches in it. Still hear it over here. Alright, let me dry this puppy off, see what I'm dealing with. Still working with 320, or the 2000. Thing I want to mention is go a little bit beyond what you did with 320 with the 2000. So let's go out a little further, because you notice your 320 will leave little scratches in the clear along the edges. You want to get it all uniform with one grit of sandpaper. It's already starting to clear up just with 2,000. So we're going labor of love here. Alright. Paper towel. Let's see what we got. Should still be pretty cloudy. When you dry it off, they give you a good chance to check for any scratches that may still be hanging out. Alright, so that's where we're at right now. Still very cloudy. Not a problem. Easy stuff. We'll fix it. Alright. Still working at it. This is our polish or silk. Polish in my mouth. That ain't good. Tastes like shit. Alright. You can do this by hand. It just takes a long ass time. But I will do a small section by hand just to prove that it can be done. Skeet it right on there. Fix up part of the visor. And it's going to be the same thing we were doing, just rubbing it on there. You really won't get that high luster by hand. And you can. It's just a really time-consuming process. But you can see how the lens is just really starting to clear up. Take a paper towel, wipe it off. Boom. Starting to get somewhere. Now, what I have, just have some old beat-up buffing wheel and a drill. Nothing really magical there. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take and put it right on the visor. Now if they're just minor scratches to begin with, you may be able just to start out right with the rubbing compound. What are we getting? Let's see. Uh-oh, started to clear. Keeping it going. I think I'll just smear it in there, that way it doesn't kick it all over the place. And we'll go back to buffing it. Flip it over at the bottom edge here. I can actually start to feel the plastic getting hot. Take a paper towel and wipe it down. See what we get. Garbage all on the back of it now. Another paper towel. Boom. run it 2 or 3 more times with that and it'll be perfect. Let me show you the finished product so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me do this for another 5 minutes. I'll run it 2 or 3 more times and I'll show you the finished product. It took me another 10 minutes, but here's the final product. There we go. One fixed helmet visor. Easy stuff, so you don't have to throw them away and buy new visors. You can always fix them.